Japan, first went as a missionary to the Japanese, his biggest problem was teaching them to forgive each other, family, but also to forgive their enemies. This was the exact opposite of the code of the samurai. Somebody crosses you, you kill them. This is the biggest problem with Christianity. Unfortunately, it's a command from God that we should love our enemies. The big question which the rich young ruler asked was, when he was told, love your neighbour as yourself, his big question was, and who is my neighbour? We might ask a similar question when God tells us to love our enemies. Who is my enemy? We have no shortage of those we could put on that list. The Old Testament law was an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a life for a life. This is not the teaching of the New Testament. The teaching of the New Testament is love. Love your enemies. Pray for your enemies. The only way in which we can really start to forgive people is to pray for them. Before we start praying in general, we should pray for those who hate us. When the priest comes out before the great entrance and says, forgive, the prayer is, forgive, O Lord, those who love us and those who hate us. He's actually talking to you lot. There are some among you, no doubt, who hate me. I would if I was sitting out there and some pompous idiot was carrying on here for a good 45 minutes of a sermon. So how do we do it? We pray for them. We pray for the peace of the world. As we pray for the peace of the world, we should really have, not deep in our minds, but on the edge of our consciousness, those who are our enemies. Who are they? Anybody who kills somebody else is our enemy, because they are enemies of God. You cannot kill somebody and still be in love with God. Love your neighbour, then, is extended to love your enemies. So the first thing you do, before you dare to pray, is to ask God to bless those who are our enemies. When we look at the situation in the Middle East and other places around the world, what do we see? We see men and women killing each other. Killing each other. For some whatever cause it might be. Is there a cause which is right for us to kill? I don't think so. God doesn't think so. We look at somewhere like Ukraine and Russia. I don't care who you think is right and who you think is wrong. Anybody who kills somebody else is wrong. The situation where we see Christians killing each other is dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. It's saying, I can't explain. Forgive. Pray. Pray for those who despitefully use you. They, if you like, are your enemies. We don't need to go global. We can go as far as our next door neighbour. The next door neighbour whose tree overhangs our garden, and all the leaves drop into our pool, our big swimming pool which we've got in our back garden. I'm sure you're all happy. Why? We argue with our neighbours. One of the biggest problems is having a neighbour, because they're either what we call a good neighbour, which usually means they don't interfere with what we're doing. They don't impinge on our consciousness at all. Or a bad neighbour, whose music is always too loud, whose children are always throwing their footballs into our garden, whose trees overhang, whose roots come under part of our fence. It's not difficult to find enemies